Hi everyone, it's kilzhot from 99 Gaming. It's The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 10, The Simon Problem. So we got a lot of topics to talk about tonight. I know we dug into this a little bit last night. Hi everyone, it's kilzhot from 99 Gaming. It's The Walking Dead Season. We've got a little bit of background noise. It's always something, right? I do sound a little bit nasally tonight. I don't know if I'm under the weather, if it's 41 day and 61 day. I got in a sneezing spell a little bit ago, and hopefully I'll be able to get through it by the end of this stream. I think I'm healthy, but I appreciate all of you guys making time, being here tonight, and we got some good topics that we're going to talk about. It is going to relate to Simon and Negan, but we are going to go to a couple other topics that seem just a little bit strange. I'm going to call it kind of the broken promises section, so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Who we got here? We got Marcus Martinez, second time being here. Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate you being part of the 99 Army. I don't, you know, Monty Saunders says get better. I don't feel bad, but I don't know. The worst time is like about 5 minutes before you do a stream and you just get this sneezing spell, and then I'm going to have to kind of work through it. Also want to say what's up to Scott Kernan, who made the Super Chat introduction, and then Pete D, not far behind either. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being involved in the channel, and then I'm always looking for questions. I appreciate you guys doing the Super Chat. But one day we're just going to sit down and do a Q&A, and Pete and Scott are probably going to owe you like 100 answers to questions. So everybody else is starting to roll in the door. Appreciate you guys making this a regular part of your night. We're having so much fun here. What's up, Ellie Valentine? I see my hearts, so thank you. If you're new to this channel, we just open up topics. We have different debates. It'll start out with one topic, and then we go all over the place. A lot of it are your theories, your thoughts, your input, and nobody sees what's streaming along the side. So I will be calling, and you know, I'll call you by name, read some of the random questions that are out there, and that's pretty much the ground rules. Also, just a real quick announcement: we do this most of the times Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We may add a Friday night this week, and then those are all at 9:30. During Sundays, we're doing the Walking Dead Junkie, so we have some topics that are the past, the present, also the future, and then we also do our countdown at 8 o'clock, so it's a lot of stuff going on. We'll start out with Simon. I know we touched on this last night. So Simon is Negan's right hand, and it does look like we're starting to see a separation between the two. Simon is almost like the Savior's version, I think, of Morgan, where, you know, Morgan goes clear, he's not clear. Simon is either Simon or he's backsliding. So I do think that there's a history there, and it's going to be a similar storyline of whether he, the difference is going to be, I think, when Simon is like in his, you know, when Morgan's like, all life's precious, don't kill, that's when Simon's killing one. When Morgan goes beast mode, that's like Simon killing a lot. And we're going to see beast mode Simon. So it is clear Simon. We got our brand new prediction that's going to be out there. But Negan needs people close to him that he can trust. Here's the problem. And this is how you know the war is winding down really, really quickly. So let's look at his lieutenants. Gavin, dead. Eugene's not a lieutenant, but Eugene. We know Eugene's going to betray Negan at some point. Looks good right now. Dwight, betrayed him. Simon, jealous. Regina, Regina's okay. So of all his lieutenants, it looks like Regina's the only one that is pretty much aligned. And isn't she the one that gunned down the Savior in the hallway? Like really, really quickly? Wasted no time. The worker? So I'm going to hold that thought. I'll get back to it in 1 second. We're going to talk about the lieutenants. Don Machiavelli 7 says, in Sacramento, waiting for Jeff Dunham, so I'll be streaming until then. I got to see Jeff Dunham about a year ago. Not bad. Not a bad show. And thank you so much. Stream it. Let some of the people that are watching, that are Walking Dead fans, I won't compete with the puppets. But hey, if a few people listen in, maybe we'll get them as part of the 99 Army. So thanks so much, Don Mac. Appreciate you being. Hey, you're out on your spare time and still watching us, so I definitely appreciate that. So Is there anybody that, let me ask you this question, is there anybody that Negan can trust? Who do you feel is like his most trustworthy person at this point? Indoor Raccoon, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Well, Beth, you say Eugene, but no, Eugene's going to betray him. Timothy's like, Carl. Yeah, no. Can't trust Eugene, trust me on that one. Scott does have his follow-up question, so it's do you believe that C characters are dead by this season, being Regina, Rot, Tobin, Scott, Bruce? You know, that's a lot to undertake. I do think Simon and Tara are gone. Rot, yes. Regina, I'm not sure about. Tobin, it's hard to tell at this point. But they're, yeah, I mean, everybody on that list I could definitely see being gone. So it does look like the way the war, the tide of the war is going to turn is that Negan's group is unraveling from the inside. Rick's group is starting to get a little bit more, I think a little bit more trust. They've lost a lot, but that seems to be bringing them together. So why do you think that Negan is starting to lose trust of his people? Do you think that they're tired of seeing the torture that he's bringing on with Rick's group? Do you think that they're tired of working for points? Or do you think it is just they're ready to start something a little bit different? Maybe the unknown, I guess. Madam says the torture. They see they're losing. It's a good point. Kristen McBride says they want freedom. I think the more that they interact with these other groups, they're starting to see that that's really what life is about. It's about what they're trying to do, and the saviors are preventing everybody else from having a normal life. So Crawfish says, here's the issue, the workers love Negan. Do they? Or are they so afraid of him at this point? Okay, just something to think about because it will be a topic that we're going to bring up in some future live streams. So here's the section that I'm calling Broken Promises, and you can see over on the right side of the screen, the more time I've had to think about Carl, the more the story is starting to bother me, and the more I feel like I gotta walk on eggshells when I say this, because I don't want to retract something I said earlier. I'm along for the ride. I'm a fan, but as a fan, I do reserve the right to say, wait a minute. What happened here? So Carl changed really quickly. We're going to go back down. If you guys watch the marathon, and we'll go back down memory lane. Carl was fearless in facing Simon. Carl broke into the sanctuary and gunned down saviors. I'm not... Sup, geeks, I'm not really here to debate that. And I don't want to open that can of worms about Carl's death not making any sense. I know some people think that. So whether I agree with that or don't agree with that, I'm not going to open that can of worms right now. But what I am going to say is how suddenly he changed. So he went from wanting to kill Negan to being the wise man on board. Even before he was bit, he was starting to make that transition to, let's not kill anybody else. Let's stop the killing. So it's a good point. So Paris says maybe he had nothing against the Saviors except for Negan. Then why not kill Negan? Why is Rick's plan all of a sudden wrong? You know, Carl says, you know, you put down your guns, it was right. It still is. You can be that person again. So Carl's seeing a different perspective. So the question, I'm going to have an open-ended question right here, right now. It can, you know, whatever you think changed Carl. What do you think changed him so fast? I mean, faster than almost any character that I've seen. Carl wanted Negan dead. I only want Negan. He killed my friends. Donna says maybe because Negan spared him. But Negan, when do you think Negan spared him? Because I see something different. I think Negan was going to kill him. Negan was going to kill him at the end of episode 7 if it weren't for, or end of season 7 if it weren't for Shiva. Shiva saved Carl. He did. Ironically, that was a confession, wasn't it? In a weird sort of way, Carl talking about killing the boy in the prison and laying in a church when he did it. Hopefully, we all kind of piece that together. Maggie said there was no reason for the sudden change. So, and this will be all I'm going to give you on this. I can see the perspective of the people that were upset with them writing him off the show. I'm just going to put it that way. I can understand it because I just think there was a big, big problem with the writing. That this was as close as they could get to bringing it all back together. Well, you know, Rial, maybe it is looking more like a writing mistake and them selling it like, okay, guess what? We had to kill Carl because this is going to make a lot of sense. This is going to change the direction of the war. Yeah, I understand that, but it almost seems like it was an excuse because they didn't have any other choice. It was, and I don't know what was worse, killing Carl and the writing of killing Carl, or the situation that they put themselves up into with a repetitive war that they didn't have a way to end. Good point, Deborah. It was a forced ending. Okay, I'm going to open this up for a, that's a good point as well, Chandler Riggs salary demand. So I'm going to open this up as well. And I want your completely honest answer to this, and then I got to get into some more broken promises. Chandler has talked about going to school. I know that wasn't the issue at this point. Chandler has a band. Chandler could have been a big part of the future of The Walking Dead. Do you think that the AMC, or the writers and AMC, were afraid to give him that much power? I'm not talking about the check and the future check, because if Carl's the future, and he's going to be the one to take over and be the lead on the show at some point, do you think that because of what his future was looking like, and he could have had some opportunities. They were afraid that if they didn't kill him, that he would have too much power over the show, over the future of the show. See, that's what I'm kind of feeling with some of the things that go on in the show. When they get to a point, because we're so personable, you can't get a fill-in for someone. So when they get to a point where they feel like this person could walk, could hold them hostage, could make a demand, they kill them. And that's what I think. It's a dual reason with Carl. I think that they needed a way to end it, but they also thought, yeah, what if this guy decides to go off and play in a band and doesn't want to be here anymore, and we're stuck with a story? Chandler's dad intimidating? Yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of the above. It's a good point, Casey. So recasting him. So how would you felt as a Walking Dead fan if Carl had been recasted a couple times? I think that's a great point. You know, Denise, it's a good point. I mean, I'm not defending or supporting either or. I mean, I'm neutral on it. I just wanted to talk about it and dig down a little bit further into it. But yeah, if he's on the show, to me, he's on the show. If he's not, he's not. I'm going to watch it either way. And that really isn't as much my concern that Chandler is off the show and Carl died. My concern is it's a deviation of that. It's that we're being made to accept it or almost like it because they didn't have any other choice. And we did talk about this even before the Carl death. What else could have happened to end the war? Judith could have died. I don't know if Maggie dying was going to do anything. They had to find a way to tone Rick down. I mean, I think instead of killing Carl, they could have kidnapped Judith. We talked about that, right? And then there could have been some negotiation, some payback. Maybe where Rick let Negan off the hook. Maybe, Judith's captured. Then Rick captures Negan. He's got Judith in hiding or something. I mean, it's as corny as Carl dying, but I mean, there are other ways it could have happened. But if we go back to, so let me just go back to my initial question. What changed Carl's behavior, and do you feel like it happened? Are you comfortable with the way his character changed over such a short period of time? I guess that's really what I'm getting at. That's what I have the biggest problem with. He went from wanting to kill Negan to don't kill anybody, peace, save them, I know the way to end this thing. So Tammy, that's what I'm leaning toward. The writers change his behavior. Okay. I'll call in a couple more people, get a few more comments. Think about those things. So if I've got you down that direction, I've already got you thinking about what changed Carl. Well, he did. He did a 180 really fast, right? What about some of the other things? So, Simon was Negan's right hand. Now he may not be his right hand. Carl wanted Negan dead. Then he did not want Negan dead. Rick said a couple times, not today, not tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. So now Rick probably won't kill Negan. Daryl is going to kill Dwight. I don't care if he is sorry, if it's all over. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch. Now Daryl's not going to kill Dwight. Tara wanted to kill Dwight. But now Tara is not going to kill Dwight, more than likely. Morgan's understandable. Morgan killed everybody, then he went, all life is precious, then he killed everybody, then he didn't, and then so like 5 times. So then the last one I'm going to bring up is Jesus doesn't want to kill, and Jesus could possibly kill maybe Gregory. So there's a lot of flip-flopping going around, right? Is this odd to anyone else, or is it just odd to me that so many characters are just changing on a whim? Chris Ranig wants a Tara impression. You know what? Give me a couple streams. I'll work on it for you. So, yes, it is odd. And my point to that is, remember when The Walking Dead used to think that they were cutting edge, they were so far ahead of everybody else, and they had the vision, and they knew what was going to happen, and now all of a sudden they're just saying stuff. Characters are saying stuff, and then as writers, as viewers, we're supposed to forget that they just told us something. They want us to be attached to their character. They want us to hang on their every word. They want us to research their history and everything else. And now you just got a bunch of people running around lying. This is great. So, Valar, thank you so much, and I love it. I love these odd numbers like 1999. So that's great. Finally, can super chat on my iPad. Tried to do it on the phone, but kept getting kicked out. Woohoo! So, you know what? You might have hit one additional decimal point. But thank you. Appreciate the comment. Appreciate the contribution to the channel. Somebody had mentioned that the other day. Obviously, I'm streaming, so I can't check it out. I don't want to deviate too far from it, but a couple people had messaged me and said, hey, guess what? You can do super chats from iOS now. I guess that wasn't able to be done before. People had to use it from a computer. So thank you so much, Valar. And appreciate the statement, but definitely give me a question. We want to take your question and get you in there. Oh, is that why we're getting the... Okay. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's 99 cent on the iPads and the decimal, and it can be even. Okay. I'll look into it, but thank you so much. Maggie, even Carol... I mean, Maggie Bonacorta says, Carol's the only consistent character so far. She's killing, but you can see she doesn't want to. I mean, she has changed a little bit. I mean, definitely when she was, Ezekiel was bringing her the pomegranates, that She didn't want to help anybody. But Carol maybe not, and Carol is not like drastically doing it. There were reasons. Carol started freaking out. She was killing and she was enjoying it and you couldn't stop her and she did it and it was just like, you know, she was having these flashbacks and blanking out and she decided not to do it. She needed to get away. And then she found out her friends died and it wasn't going to change and now she's doing what is necessary. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Carol being a badass and then wanting to be away from it and then being sucked back into it. But the broken promises and the blatant disregard for us as viewers by changing the character too soon, too fast. I mean, let me kind of give you an analogy of how this would work out. Does anybody see an environment where Daryl will be partners with Negan? Can anybody even remotely fathom that right now? So everybody says nope. Now, the writers have a big problem on their hands, don't they? Because now, if Carl wants Rick to keep Negan alive, and Rick and Daryl are best friends, and Daryl is not going to have it, we got ourselves a big problem. Get yourself out of that one. Daryl ain't hanging around in the same town as Negan. So, all the people they're saying no way right now. If I would have asked you this question at the end of Season 7, all right, hang on, because I know you guys are going to roll right into the next Daryl topic and give me your Daryl theory, and I want that, but give me 1 second. If I would have asked you the question at the end of Season 7, remember when the scavengers were in Alexandria and Carl turned around and shot the scavengers and then they got captured? And Negan was getting ready to swing on Carl. So, all right, this is where I want you guys to be, right here. Zoom in with me. We're going to go back in time. Negan bends down, and he says, I'm going to kill Carl. And Rick says, not today, not tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. And then he goes, and he raises the bat, and Shiva, we pause it. We hit the pause button right there, right before the downswing. Shiva doesn't jump out yet, so you don't know this is going to happen. And at that moment, I ask you this question. The bat's getting ready to come down and whack Carl, and you think it's going to happen. And I said, group, do you see a world where Carl, if he makes it through this, and someone saves him miraculously, and Negan does not crush his skull with that bat. Maybe Shiva jumps out, or maybe Negan slips something and hits himself in the knee. But if Carl survives this moment, do you see at all that there's any chance that Carl would not want Negan dead? I hype that question up a lot because I want to get you in that moment. What would your answer be? No. No. Absolutely freaking not. 90% of the people are going to answer this question at that moment. I don't want you to think about what happened and he got bit. It's hard to separate yourself from then and now. That's why I want you to be in that particular moment. That Carl wanted him dead. So if the writers can take us in only 8 episodes from Carl wanting Negan dead to Carl dying and Carl wanting Negan alive, what makes you think that they won't do the same ass-backwards things with Daryl? because Daryl's a powerful character. And that could just be bad writing. So we don't know what can happen in the next 8 episodes. Because to me, Carl had the same type of vendetta that Daryl had. So we have to come up with alternate theories, right? That's where we say, well, you know, maybe Daryl and Dwight are going to go off because Daryl can't be there with Negan, and Daryl and Rick are best friends. But Rick's going to say, hey, Daryl, don't kill Negan. Because Carl, look, he wrote me this letter, and this is what he wants. Daryl's going to say, I don't give a damn about no damn letter. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch. I mean, that's Daryl. And if you take that away, I will bring it up again, and I will remind the writers that Carl was a badass. Carl was shooting scavengers. Carl was storming the sanctuary. Carl was sitting right there ready to die. Carl was staring down Negan in the lineup. Carl was not afraid of Simon. And all of a sudden, he changed that fast? No. I'll accept you're going to kill him, you're going to write him off the show, but I can't be toyed with you just making these characters into liars that aren't going to follow through and do what they say that they're going to do. Humans do change their minds, but it's getting a little bit ridiculous of doing it far too often. The writers need to get better. You can't just, I'm on the roller coaster, I'm going along for the ride, but you're getting us to a point where we're starting to question some of the things that are happening. You got to do it a little bit better. Best answer of the day. Storm 3851. Kills. It was the bite. The bite got into his mind. It changed his personality. There you go. Okay. All right. I'm right there with you. You know what? That is great. That's a great comment for tonight's episode. So, Petey Wheatstraw in the house. What's up, Petey Wheaty? Do we assume Rick will keep sparing Negan a secret? That is a great question and a great comment. Could Rick have an alternate prison or another place that he puts Negan in and they don't know about it? You know what? I have not went down that road yet. But I might be able to buy that more than him keeping him. But I'm just trying to think of the value in that. You know, it would satisfy Carl, it would, but it's still deceit. I don't know. You know what? I got to think that through a little bit more. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you. You sort of got me on the spot there. But I mean, now you're just like, you know, you're keeping Oliver Queen prisoner on an island for no reason and just throwing him a breadcrumb every once in a while. I mean, I don't know. I'm not big on keeping people prisoner and having to go back and check on them multiple times and support them if there's not a bigger picture to it. I mean, that's not that I do that. But if I were on a television show, I don't see the value in it. Like, you're just keeping him caged up, and what are you going to do, go visit him, give him food once a day? You still have to look at him. You still have to be reminded of him. I'm not sure. It is. I think it's a good marination topic, Petey. Bobatees, I guess. Hopefully I'm getting your name right. Does anyone think Negan will kill Simon? It's an option. I think there's 3 different things that could play out here. Negan kills Simon. Simon continues to recruit from the inside and try to take over Negan's power, or Simon gets exiled and leaves. It would, Petey. It would set up some drama later, like, oh, you kept him here, you kept him alive. But Petey, here's the thing. It would set up drama, but how would it play out? Guess we could role play it. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? How you doing, Rick? I'm not going to do it. It's going to be too much work here. Hey, just want to let you know, I kept Negan alive. You what? Yeah, it was in Carl's letter. Why? And I think that's where I'm going to get stuck. I'm going to stop all of a sudden, because I think that would be bad writing too. If we get to that point where, I don't know, I just decide to keep him alive. Yeah, I don't see the value in it. I just think it's additional. I think it's bad writing. This almost felt like a random things topic. I told you guys we had multiple topics. We're going to start with the rift between Simon and Negan. It's just going to be kind of way, way out there. You know, Angela, mercy does prevail, but there's got to be an end game too, I think. All right, we're going to go through and just a couple more comments. We've actually, see, we got so many different super chats, so many different directions. We actually took the chat in a little different direction. So there is Valar jumping back in here. So thank you so much. Do you think he could kill Simon with tainted Lucille? If he does, yes, I do think that's a possibility, Valar. And I've given a little bit of thought. It would be a cool death, but I think one of the things that we talked about last night is it really depends on what who your next villain is going to be. If you've got something already lined up and you think Simon's just going to be dead weight, then go ahead and kill him, and it'll be a great death, and it'll show, hey, Negan's in charge. Negan's doing these things. If you're going to kill Simon only to take the power away from Negan, I think you're wasting him. Even because I do think that you could kill someone else with the tainted Lucille and still get the same impact. I honestly think it's more likely Simon. I don't have this information yet, but if you ask me right now, Kills, go out on a limb, give us your best theory of Simon. He leaves. This is my best theory. This is going to be a 999 gaming bomb. There you go, Petey. He leaves because a couple reasons. One, in this week's episode, he looks at Negan and he says, I think we should just cut our losses. And Negan says, do your job. He doesn't want to hear what Simon's opinion is. Then Simon gets an awkward situation because he's going to kill all the scavengers. The people with Simon are going to be in a very awkward position. They've got to lie to Negan to cover for Simon, or they've been around Simon and they're part of his little core group, his unit, and they're willing to leave with him. And if Rick gets in a situation where he gets the upper hand on Negan, which he will because of Eugene, then I think it's more likely Simon leaves and then comes back. That would be my thought. I don't think they're going to kill him. Petey's going out on a limb and saying he's going to leave in a body bag that he is dying. I don't think, I'm just going to disagree. Because they've invested a lot into him, and he definitely has that evil demeanor. But we'll see. OU Crawfish. The only way the writers can get away with Rick leaving Negan alive with the group, they would have to use the time jump to... That I agree. That's a very, very strong possibility, Crawfish, that we come back in season 9 with a time skip. And we're going to have to accept it, fill in the pieces, different things. I do think there's a lot of things that can be accomplished with a time skip. And you know what I'm going to do? Because of time, tomorrow night we're going to talk about the time skip, and we're going to talk about possibilities, scenarios, situations, things that would look a little bit different. So I want you to start to think about that a little bit. Come with some of your best topics tomorrow night. But I did want to touch on that, and I think that's a perfect segue to kind of close this out and also move on to the topic tomorrow night, because there's some really good things that they can do with that, and that might be their saving grace. And, you know, once again, it makes the decision with Carl questionable, I think, if you're going to do the time skip anyway. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We're about 42 minutes, so we ran a little bit extra tonight. I appreciate all the involvement, all the questions, all the interaction, of course, all the super chatters. I'm going to do like a banner, I think, on one of these for you guys as well. You guys are just awesome. Thank you so much. 150, 160 people so far in and out the door. If you guys could do me a favor, slap that like button. Just get this thing up to 100 likes as quick as possible. And if you're not a member, then go ahead and subscribe. Also, we have a Facebook page as well, too. It's starting to grow really fast. We're getting a lot of family members on there as well. So thank you. You guys join that as just a couple things. I mean, you can post some of your thoughts, your ideas on that page. But also, if a stream's going to happen, it's like an emergency stream or a last-minute thing, we also post on that site as well. So appreciate all of you guys being there. If you're watching the playback, then this is closing credits. If you're still here, if you can type a 999, then I'm going to give everybody in the stream a shout out, just like a special thank you. And keep in mind, we will be doing this once again at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and we're probably going to have a Friday stream as well. 9:30 tomorrow night, and then 9:30 on Friday, and then Sunday at 8 o'clock. I am burnt, everybody. It's been a super long day. Thank you, Paris. Appreciate that. Another shout out for you, representing 999 Army. You got it. Deborah Mooney, KCF, Chris Raining, Beth Burdett, Scott Kiernan, Wayne, what's up? Stephen Miller, Storm 3851. I'm going to try it. Is it Jow Vaz? I'm going with it. Peace Dove, thank you. Angela Lewis, Mercedes Velasquez, OU Crawfish, Sandra. I can't even say it. I'm struggling here. Sandra Refit, thank you. Shannon M. Carol Brothers, Payette, Aaron Music, Ron Moore, Walani, Future Llama 512, Gina Crockett, Chris Yakubovsky, Tommy V, Brian Clayton, thank you so much, Brian. HRH Remington, thank you. Jill DeVille, what's up, Jill? Timothy Young, Emmy Desiree Bacon, Kelsa Smile, Tommy the Sweet Ass Enforcer McCandless, Steph the Cuervo Queen, Gene Atkins, DDA Ohio, Dave Doherty. You know what? We cut them down. I found that when I get them going to an hour, Dave Doherty, that people skip and jump through them. 30 minutes is kind of a sweet spot for most of these, because then hopefully it goes by quickly. It doesn't seem like as much of a task for you guys to be here. Thank you so much. Northside Queen, Michelle Wolf, appreciate you being here. Madison Dickey. Shanna Garza, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Texas Girl 38, Helicard, Valerie Feldman, Joni Tucker, Pat Sanzone, the Hippo. H-Bomb coming soon from the Hungry Hippo. What's up, Hippo? The Gaming Squad HD. Wow. Jow saying Simon will have a hatchet to the head. That is severe stuff. Maggie Bonacorda. Thank you, Maggie. Tammy Sifford. Thank you so much. I got you, Tammy. See that? I didn't forget you. Melinda Kettler. Thank you. I'm doing some double shout-outs tonight. All right. I've missed about 10 or 15 people, so if I missed you so far, Give me one more 999 just so I can make sure. Well, Lonnie, thanks for being here, man. I guess I should do the first round of shout-outs, and then after like a minute, just ask for another recap, and then I can hit, a few more people. Hey, thanks, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you love the videos, and I love doing the videos for you guys, and appreciate you being a part of it. Julie McGuire, thank you so much, Julie. Appreciate you being here. Chris Salisbury. What's up, man? David Kaywood, thanks, David. Appreciate you being here. There's a lot of new faces here. Dial M Masala, KCF, PD Wheatstraw. If you guys are new, I see, last 3 or 4 streams we've done, probably 20, 30 new people. Make sure you guys subscribe and just be a part of this channel. Really, really appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Renee? Thank you so much. Sup, geeks? I missed you earlier, too. I got you this time. All right, 1 or 2 more lurking out there. Can we get them last minute? Thanks so much, Aaron. Appreciate you being here. Love my hearts. Wow, we got tons of hearts coming out. Renee's sending hearts. Gina's got some hearts up there. Villar, check this out, man. More hearts. Absolutely, Villar. I'm going to shout you out. No doubt about it. Thank you. I'm glad you got that fixed, too. And, thanks for everything you're doing for the channel. I appreciate it. Brian, you know what? I'm going to agree with you 100%. I think this is the best Walking Dead forum, not because I'm doing it, but because I have the most interactive group of people. You guys are just amazing. It's a lot of fun, so thank you. Also, Big T, thank you for being here. On that note, everybody, I am going to wind it down. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk time skip. Bring your best ideas, your most creative thoughts. We're going to talk about how long the time skip could be, potential relationships. Nothing is off limits. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, 9:30. Peace.